Joining me now is Dov Hankin to talk about several things, including the testimony by Governor Huckabee today before committee on Capitol Hill. But also, how about this one right here? The Rare Foundation, Amy Meek. I was just texting with Amy the other day. Hopefully we'll get her on someday soon. She's not doing a lot of media appearances right now, but we sure follow her website. Jewish journalist arrested for objecting to Islamic terror symbol in U.S. grocery store. A chilling precedent. Exclusive interview. We'll talk about that. And then how about this one right here? Also by the Rare Foundation, urgent warning, 2 radical imams relocating to Texas to build mega mosque, convert churches, and accelerate Islamic takeover. Texas is being taken over. We've already got Yasser Qadi down there, and now these guys, I think, are going from Colorado to Texas. It looks like the governor of Texas is going to just let Islam take over, despite his tweets about not wanting Sharia. We're not going to let this happen. I think he's frankly full of hot air until he proves otherwise. But then again, I think he's kind of aligned a little bit with the World Economic Forum, isn't he? But anyway, joining me to talk about all this and his personal friendship with the soon-to-be, I think, ambassador to Israel, Mike Huckabee, is Dov Hankin. Hi, Dov. Welcome back to the broadcast. Thanks for being with us.
Always great to be with you, and this is very, very exciting with Mike Huckabee. I had the pleasure over the years to be with him, to literally fly with him, on the plane, sit next to him, and spend time in Jerusalem at so many different locations. I mean, he is in a class all by himself. He is absolutely amazing. He totally gets it, what Israel represents to the world, what the Jewish people represent to the world. Great American, great all around. I mean, this is, I got to tell you, you couldn't find anyone better to be the ambassador of America to Israel than Mike Huckabee. No Jew, no one. He is really at the front line. God bless him.
Well, he's been very consistent, I think, for a lot of years on his Zionism, without a doubt. I want to go to a comment he made. I think this was today. Was it not today or yesterday? When was this made, this comment? Was this hearing yesterday or today? Does anybody know? I don't know.
Today. The hearing was today.
It was today. All right, so this is breaking news. Here we go. We're going to hear it all for the first time.
Israel, in many ways, is a reflection of our own heritage and history. It is the Judeo-Christian law that there is a right and that there is a wrong, upon which all of Western civilization is built, but certainly our system of government. There is no country across the globe that more mirrors our own struggle and our own level of democracy than does the State of Israel. And it's one of the reasons that it is a natural ally. The spiritual connections between your church, mine, many churches in America, Jewish congregations, to the State of Israel, is because we ultimately are people of the book. We believe the Bible. And therefore, that connection is not geopolitical. It is also spiritual. And to ignore that, to deny that, would be to make it very difficult for us to ever understand how to go forward in a relationship with them.
Yeah. And I think this was this excuse me for not knowing, I should know. This is a confirmation hearing, so he hasn't been confirmed yet, correct?
No, but guaranteed it's happening. There's no question. Even there wasn't that much questioning from Democrats. I think everyone realizes he's in. No doubt about that. But I got to tell you, Brendan, listen to those words. I mean, he so gets it. He so understands it. It's just beautiful. Those words could not be more perfect in terms, as I said earlier, what Israel represents, what America represents to the world, and that relationship. Boy, those were.
Well, listen to what, if you like that, listen to what he said about Hamas. Here we go.
That Hamas will have no future in Gaza. It can't. This was not simply a cold-blooded murder in which people came across the borders and shot innocent people. They massacred them. And they did it in the way that was most physically painful and in the way that was most personally humiliating. And worse, they videotaped themselves doing it because they were proud of it, and they published it with pride. And they announced repeatedly that they would do it again. Hamas is not a government, it's not a standing army, it is a terrorist organization, and they acted like it. And they must be treated as such. And if confirmed, I would hope that this unfortunate, horrific war that has resulted in many, many deaths, including Americans, the taking of hostages for a longer period of time than even the hostages in 1979 were taken during the Iranian takeover, that all of that could come to an end, and there could be accountability for what was done to Jewish people on October the 7th of 2023.
Now, what disturbs me, Dov, is that I don't know that there's that many people in Congress, frankly, some of them, but not too many people that understand the history of Hamas. They don't understand the connection between Muslim Brotherhood, founded in 1928, Hamas, founded in 1987, CARE, Council on American Islamic Relations, founded in 1994. They don't understand how these groups work together. They don't understand, some of them, how they have subverted America and are infiltrating and have infiltrated America. Some of them do, because some of them are up there, I think, are funded by them. They're supported and funded by them in their elections. But most members of Congress do not understand or know what you and I know when it comes to Hamas. They think that's over there. There's a former CIA contractor, I think her first name is Sarah, who has been out and been interviewed and warned, as we have done here as well, independently from her, that we believe an October 7th event is being planned for America. We go back many, many years, 2007, 2008, warning about attack was done in a former Soviet Union, in Russia. There was a school that was attacked, and over 300 kids died, and they rigged the gymnasium with explosives. And when a group of special forces went in there to free those teachers and students, they died. There was a detonation. This, we said back then, many experts did that we interviewed, was practice for doing this in other places, including America. So I'm concerned that we're going to have our own October 7th event. And I think when Americans think, oh, that's over there, they don't realize this is coming. This is coming to America, I'm afraid. And these people have already gotten in. They're already ready. What say you to that?
Well, you're absolutely on target. Anyone who doesn't appreciate what you just said and recognize, God forbid, that there are people out there. Look, we watch them in the streets of America, filled with unadulterated hate towards America. America being the big Satan, Israel being the small Satan. No one should doubt, God forbid, at your own peril, that there are people out there who would commit horrors upon Americans if they could get away with it. And our government must take these things very, very seriously. You're absolutely right. You've got a lot of crazies out there. These are people who are so committed to their ideology, to what they believe. They believe their God. This is what their God wants. That when you murder Americans, when you murder innocent people, this is a great victory for Islam. So we better be awake. We better be ready. We better, again, that our government, and thank God we have Donald Trump and a lot of the great people in the administration, but we need to never take for granted that, that's thousands of miles away. We don't have to be worried about it. We're okay. That's just not true. It is not complicated and difficult to commit horrible acts of terror in America if we let these monsters get away with it.
Yeah.
So you're right on target. You're on target.
The attack in Beslan, which was in Russia, if I'm correct. Yep, Russia. That was September 1st, 2004. Let me show you a few pictures real quick. Here's the school. And I guess this is one of the gyms. I guess this is where it occurred. And here's some of the students that died. So again, a lot of Americans don't even know about this. It's not something that they know about. They don't realize this kind of thing has been done, and over 300 died. It's just absolutely horrific. Now, with that being said, I am concerned about this one here, okay? So when people see certain things and then they ask questions, they're accused of Islamophobia, hate speech. Now, I wasn't there. I don't think there's a video of what happened, but here is Rare Foundation, Amy Meek, with an exclusive interview. The Jewish journalist, Sloan Rachmuth. Do you know Sloan, Dov?
No, I don't.
Okay. Well, I follow her on X. Holly Springs, North Carolina. Sloan Rachmuth, a Jewish journalist and political commentator, was arrested at her home in front of her terrified children on November 3rd, 2024. Her alleged crime? According to Rachmuth, she objected to a supermarket employee at Harris Teeter wearing a controversial keffiyeh, a political symbol widely associated with Hamas and its ambitions to destroy Israel and the Jewish people. Okay. Apparently, she walked over and asked her, is it Halloween? Why are you wearing this? What's going on? And I guess somebody in the school or the store, I guess this happened on October 31st. She entered there in Holly Springs, where she shopped regularly for 7 years. According to her, as she checked out, she noticed an employee handling food wearing a keffiyeh, a garment long associated with the Palestinian Liberation Organization, frequently worn by Hamas militants and supporters. In America, the keffiyeh has been used as a rallying icon for violence against Jews during demonstrations. Aware of its political significance, Rachmuth says she politely asked the employee, it's Halloween, are you wearing this as a costume? And I guess the employee replied, no, it's for Free Palestine. It's a political statement. Instead of addressing I guess she was deeply uncomfortable with a store employee openly supporting an ideology that symbolized the destruction of Israel and the Jewish people while handling food. So while at the store, she escalated her concerns to store manager, expecting Harris Teeter to uphold its policy against political speech in the workplace, instead addressing the hostile work environment created by an employee wearing a symbol of Jewish oppression. She was kicked out, told, like it or leave it. Well, apparently then she turned around and got arrested in front of her kids and charged with, I guess, hate speech, a hate crime. When I saw this story, I thought, well, this has to be over in Europe. This has to be in Europe. Dov. Apparently this happened right here in the United States, in North Carolina. Your thoughts?
Well, obviously insane. And I got to give this person tremendous credit for speaking out. Most people turn their back and they just walk away and they don't deal with the hate symbols and the dangers that they represent. So I give this person tremendous credit for standing up and doing the right thing. And why this person would be arrested is incomprehensible. It just doesn't make any sense.
Suggesting that it's a bias-motivated offense. Anti-Islamic.
That you know what? That is so freaking ridiculous. That is so outrageous. People need to be tough. People need to stand up. People need not to be afraid, and we must work with each other to be tough. Unfortunately, like I said before, a lot of people, they saw the same thing, would just walk away. They wouldn't say anything. They'd come home and complain to their husband or wife or friends. But this person actually reacted. God bless her for that. And getting arrested is it's a sad commentary that could be happening. Mm-hmm. Makes no sense at all.
Well, the students can wear these keffiyehs, they can chant, they can scream and holler, and that's all considered, political speech and whatnot, as they, block Jews from going into their schools and whatnot. And you can support
Hamas and Hezbollah and Iran, terrorist organizations. That's fine, no problem. But, someone speaks out and someone objects to these symbols of hate and they get arrested. Crazy, insane.
The article at Rare Foundation goes on to say the officer obtained an arrest warrant accusing Rachmuth of using her cell phone, quote, to harass embarrass or terrify, end quote, the employee. The police arrived at her home with an arrest warrant in hand, leading to what many believe was an effort to humiliate her publicly. She was shocked and confused by the officer's presence when she demanded the reason for her arrest. The officer replied, quote, something you did made her uncomfortable, all right, end quote. There was an arrest video. Let's see this. Let's watch this. I didn't realize there was a video. Let's watch this. Let's say, oh, no, don't take me to a commercial.
Want
yes,
a simple
it's gonna take me
but
to
totally
a
brilliant.
All right, so we're going to let that pass. We're going to let the commercial pass, and then we're going to hopefully get right to the commercial. We got to sit through 2 commercials to get past it, but it's going to be worth it, I think. All right, now here we go, guys. Here we go. Let's see. You guys ready? You got the audio up? Here we go.
Okay. Come out. I'm being tough.
That occurred, I think, like 3 days ago. There was a post that she posted on social media, and due to the circumstances, that female felt threatened and harassed. So it does all fall under the elements of cyber stalking.
I know the law well, yeah.
So that is the charge that should be at the warrant.
But harassed, wearing a keffiyeh in public.
I get it, but that's her religion. She can do that.
It's a keffiyeh, but a keffiyeh is very different from a hijab.
Right, and I understand.
It's a political statement.
I get that, but due to the
And by the way,
circumstances and the way she felt,
and officers, I respect you, and I'm just saying, what I'm telling you though is that it's part of political speech to talk to us.
Wow. Closing comment on that one real quick.
I got to tell you, I don't know whether to laugh or cry. That is the most outrageous behavior. You know, I love police officers, but why would they arrest her? I'm going to try to get in touch with this person. You know, she may have a cat. I mean, it makes no sense. That's all I could say. It makes absolutely no sense. Not justified. I mean, it was also peaceful and quiet. No one raised their voices. You arrest someone in a situation like this.
Well,
I mean,
that if it was that out of control, they probably would have produced video footage, because I'm guessing that store has cameras rolling, right?
Yeah, it was so peaceful. I mean, half of New York, half of America would get arrested, you know, behaving. And I mean, she didn't do anything wrong, for God's sake. I don't get the police officers doing this.
Let me go to this one real quick. 2 radical imams relocating to Texas to build mega mosques, convert churches, and accelerate Islamic takeover. I think these guys are coming, I want to say they're coming from Colorado when I read the article. Yeah, one of the 2 men interviewed moved from Colorado to Dallas, and I guess they thought there was nothing in Texas but a lot of cows, white people, and desert. But what we saw were the Muslims, and realized Texas has Islam. And they're announcing their upcoming move to 2 well-known and controversial Muslim figures. And I'm sure you're familiar with who these guys are, because we've covered them over the years. And they're going to be helping, I guess, to spread Islam. Texas is between this and Dallas and Yasser Qadi's thing. Texas is being taken over, and I don't know what the governor of Texas is doing, but it doesn't appear to be too much. But this is all under the protection of religion. Let me tell you something. They said in the Muslim Brotherhood explanatory memorandum, they would use our own hands to destroy our country. They're coming here, I think, to use freedom of religion to destroy our country and infiltrate. But this is not just a religious system. This is a revolution with Sharia, Islamic law, and I think breeding terrorism, my opinion. Your thoughts?
Brennan, this is exactly what's happening all over Europe. In England, in France, in Belgium, on and on and on. You know, you and I are not against anyone's religion.
Right.
We're against a religion that preaches hate and results in innocent people being murdered. That's what it's all about. And that's what our concerns are all about.
Well, and of course, and then you and I would defend the moderate Muslim who doesn't want to be involved in jihad, right? What they would call the hypocrite. What they would call the hypocrite, because they won't be involved in it or fund it, right? So there you go.
Absolutely, Brandon. Look, we've got a problem in this country. We see it in the streets of America. Those who are demonstrating, again, freedom of speech, 100%. But when they are demonstrating for Hamas and Hezbollah and the Houthis, etc., those are dangerous, dangerous people, and we need to treat them in such a fashion. It's about protecting America. It's about protecting our families.
Founder of Americans Against Anti-Semitism, Dov Hikind. You'll find him on Twitter, on X, Americans Against Anti-Semitism, former legislator in New York and a regular friend of this broadcast network. Thank you, Dov.
Thank you so much for having me. It's always a pleasure.
You too, my friend Dov, checking in tonight.